Hi, this is Kevin the Chicken, and welcome to part 2 of everything that made David Banner turn into the Hulk. Now, I'm guessing most of y'all watching this episode are familiar with the show, and you know that twice an episode he freaks out and his eyes turn white and then he turns into the Hulk. But if any of this is confusing to any of you, just leave a question or a comment down below. So we left off at the end of season 1 with number 28. So let's go ahead and get started. Number 29, thrown off a loft by some disco guys. Number 30, dreaming about his dead wives. Number 31, shocked by downed power lines while chasing his terminally ill wife through a hurricane in Hawaii. Number 32, dropping a metal tank onto his own foot and then falling over into some empty boxes. Now, this is something you didn't see a whole lot of in the first season, but you're going to start seeing it more and more as we go forward, and that is that nobody did anything to him. He just dropped something or tripped all by himself and then turns into the Hulk, like for no reason. Number 33, getting thrown down the side of a mountain by a guy dressed as Bigfoot. I remember as a kid thinking what a ripoff this was. I don't know why they didn't just have him fight the real Bigfoot. You know, fighting the real Bigfoot would be a challenge, you know, because Bigfoot's a badass, but a guy dressed as Bigfoot is just a loser. Number 34, busting open a garage door to save his special needs friend from carbon monoxide poisoning. Number 35, getting his car rammed into in a demolition derby. Even though that's what's supposed to happen in a demolition derby. See, I told y'all, every time he gets behind the wheel of a car, something happens to it. Number 36, kicked by a horse after a flaming wooden beam falls on his head. Number 37, trampled by a crowd at a horse race. Number 38, dude won't open the door to let David call the cops so he can report child abuse. Number 39, beat up in a middle school gym by a kid's abusive dad. Number 40, getting locked in a freezer truck with a blind Chinese guy. Number 41, handcuffed to a bed and forced to drink Chinese tea by an old lady. Number 42, busting up his leg as he goes up the stairs to save his goddaughter and then finding the door locked. Now, I can't show you this on the screen, you know, because of the copyright thing, but it seems like David spends about 20 minutes just trying to climb up a flight of stairs. Kind of like one of those TV commercials that you see in the afternoon where people just can't do normal everyday things. Like, no wonder he's pissed off all the time. He can't even perform basic human functions. Number 43, handcuffed and falling down a stack of empty boxes. Number 44, towel snapped and then locked in a steam room turned up full blast by professional football players. Number 45, having snacks thrown at him by a bunch of drunken douchebags while locked in the security pen at a football game. Now, I want to say that's some really bad acting on Bill Bixby's part, but I don't know how convincingly anybody could act that a bowl of pretzels is causing them such agony. Number 46, having his face shoved in lunch meat by a guy wearing heavy polyester. Number 47, getting his denim jacket stuck in an industrial printing press. See, I'm telling you, most of these is just him being clumsy. Number 48, framed for murder and then pepper sprayed in the face. Number 49, chased by bloodhounds and handcuffed to a woman who fell off a cliff. Number 50, sealed in an oil barrel and then loaded onto the back of a flatbed truck and driven down a bumpy road. Number 51, fist fighting a lumberjack during a forest fire to keep him from pushing down the plunger on one of those Roadrunner type dynamite things. Number 52, run through a car wash on the hood of a drug dealer's car. Number 53, locked in a nightclub's men's room with a live panther. Number 54, electrocuted after falling barefoot off a wooden stool into broken glass while locked in a basement. You know, this is something we're starting to see more and more of. He's got bare feet. He's locked in the basement. He stands on a stool to fix the light. The stool breaks. He falls into broken glass, and then he stands up and he's electrocuted. It's like a Roadrunner cartoon. It's like when Marvel was first pitching the series to CBS. You know, they're looking in the comic books and they're seeing Hulk. You know, he's in the Avengers and he's fighting aliens and supervillains and shit. And they're explaining it to the network and they're like, yeah, but we're going to make it a lot more like Roadrunner. Number 55, pulled underwater and caught on a running mill wheel. Number 56, trying to save his sworn enemy after falling off the side of a mountain and being chased by wolves. Now the reason David has bandages on his face, he was in some kind of an accident, which is very convenient because he's stuck out in the middle of the wilderness with the one guy who would recognize him. The thing with McGee is contrived anyway. I mean, he writes this column about what the Hulk is doing and tracking the Hulk, and they act like it only appears in this one newspaper that's like the National Enquirer or something. But the Hulk's not like Bigfoot, who lives in the middle of the woods and runs away when everybody comes close. I mean, he's out in the middle of the city. I mean, there's probably at least 1,000 people that have actually seen him. Number 57. Trying to save his sworn enemy again from being trapped under a fallen tree during a forest fire. Now, you wouldn't know it from looking at him, but these last two clips where he's got the bandages all over his face, he also has amnesia. I mean, this guy's just got the worst luck. Number 58. Locked in restraints while his best friend has a heart attack. Number 59. Locked inside a police car while a SWAT team shoots at his ninja friend. Number 60, beat up after being locked in the back of a police van with a guy who thinks he's Ernest Hemingway. Number 61, tear gassed by a SWAT team while being held hostage on a yacht by a crazy guy. Number 62, trapped in a cave-in. Number 63, locked in a soundproof caveman display in a museum while Native American hooligans hold his girlfriend hostage. Number 64, injecting himself with an untested drug in the middle of the night while he's alone in a data center. Now, I've said it before, but to get rid of the Hulk, David Banner will do anything. Here he is in the middle of a data center with what looks to be like pretty advanced equipment for the time. At least I can only assume because of all the blinking lights. But it's the middle of the night, there's no one else around. He doesn't know what this drug's going to do to him, and he's just going to inject it into his veins and hope for the best. I mean, forget about the danger to his life, the fact that he might die. What if he turns into the Hulk? Number 65, loud bells. Now there's a lot going on here. There's the guy hanging off the side of the building and the woman trying to pull him back up. There's a hostage and a bunch of noise. But David seems to be doing fine taking all that in. It's only when the bells start ringing that he really freaks out. Now, I suggested earlier that he take some Valium or lithium or something, but seriously, if he's losing his shit just every time he hears a loud noise, maybe he should be talking to a therapist or something. Now, I know that some of y'all are going to say, well, you know, he's in a bell tower and the noise physically would hurt his ears, but the point is he's in a bell tower, right? You go certain places, you take certain risks. So I don't know why he's acting so surprised. Number 66, straitjacketed in a mental hospital. Number 67, put on hold by the police department. Now this is another phone-related freak out, which I always enjoy, but contrast that to the other ones where everything's on fire and there's SWAT teams and nuclear war. So sometimes it seems like it takes a lot to set him off, and other times it doesn't seem to take anything at all. Number 68. Shootout with a SWAT team while holed up in a log cabin with a hippie chick. And also, the whole thing's on fire. Number 69. Roughed up by the man. Well, thanks for joining. That's the end of season 2. It was a fun season, although they didn't have as many animal attacks. I only counted one, that was the panther, and that one happened off screen. Although there was a lot of SWAT teams, and I counted 3 times where someone was hanging off the end of something and somebody else had to pull them back up. We also had a case of amnesia and 2 ninjas. Anyway, thanks again, and if you enjoyed it, click like, subscribe, leave a comment, and have a nice day.
All right, we're done here.